they got electricity in 2020. Now, can you imagine? And it's minus 10, it's minus 10 months of the year, and they don't still have phone, TV, internet, nothing. That's how isolated they are. And they were so nice because they never heard about Putin, Trump, or anything, or black life, white life. They're just hi. Yeah. Det vil nogle af jer meget gerne ved, og nogle vil heller bare direkte, og vi har selvfølgelig.
Ayaw nakopsiyudang lommi put takot isyabi og adani inisisimapo.
Redningsvesten er placeret under stolen.
Put takot at siyo.
Tag vesten på. Der er et antal nødgang i flyet. Ved nødsituation vises vej til nødgang.
sætter nu ned i Nordfjords, ikke kan sige omgivelser.
Richard. It reminds me very much of Norwich Airport vibes. Dates and so forth. Will be like the